What's good, y'all? Today I'm predicting the 2024 NBA playoffs. All right, I am so excited for the playoffs, I'm not going to lie. Even though the Warriors are not in it, unfortunately, we lost to the Kings. Kings couldn't make the playoffs either. They lost to the Pelicans last night. We got the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the New Orleans Pelicans in the very first round. I'm not gonna lie, this is actually a pretty scary matchup for the Thunder if Zion were to come back. Although, I'm not. I mean, if Zion were to play the whole series, I would be tempted to pick the Pelicans here because the Thunder have such lack of experience. I will be taking the Thunder though because, well, they're just the better team. They have the better record and they're just better than the Pelicans. And I don't know if it's going to be okay. Well, let's see. I get 400 points per correct pick on here. And I don't know if there's any bonus points for getting the right amount of games, but if Zion plays, I'd probably say it goes 7. But for now, I'm going to say Thunder win in 6. That should be a good series, though. I probably will be rooting for the Thunder in that series. Next up, we got the Clippers versus the Mavericks. Now, this is the team I'm going to be rooting for throughout the playoffs, the Dallas Mavericks. They've been the hottest team in the NBA as of lately. The Clippers, I know Kawhi Leonard is going to be playing throughout this series, should be anyway, but we'll see. The Clippers have been the most injury-prone team in the modern era, it seems. But, I mean, I am rolling with the Dallas Mavericks right now. I'm going to say Dallas wins in 6. I don't know, man. It's hard to predict a 7-game series. I almost wanted to go 5. That's how confident I am in the Mavericks right now, but I'm going to go 6. 6 games, Mavericks. The Mavericks advance to play the Thunder in the second round. It's good old AG1, by the way, not sponsored. And now we scroll down to the Timberwolves versus the Suns. I don't like either one of these teams. I'm not going to lie, I don't like either one of these teams. I've rooted against Minnesota a lot of the season. I've rooted against Phoenix. Definitely don't like Grayson Allen. But, I mean, I just got to pick who I think's going to win, right? And I think the Phoenix Suns are going to win in 6 games. I mean, I think this is just a matter of experience over youth. I mean, well, actually, the Timberwolves do have a lot of experienced veterans, like, Mike Conley, for example. But the Phoenix Suns, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, even Grayson Allen. I mean, I don't like them, but they're going to beat the Timberwolves. So, the 6th seed moving on. Then we got the Nuggets and the Lakers. The Nuggets-Lakers is a rematch of the conference finals last year. The Nuggets won in a close sweep. However, I do think the Lakers can get a game this year, maybe even 2. But I do not see the Nuggets going down or even going to 7 here in round 1. I do like the Nuggets to advance. This is just it's a hard series to predict. It's kind of far-fetched to say it's going to be a sweep again, but I don't know if the Lakers can push it to 6. I will probably be rooting for the Nuggets in this series. No doubt. I'm going to say Nuggets win in 5. Setting up a rematch in the Western Conference semifinals between Denver and Phoenix. And then I don't know where the Lakers go from there, but it's another early exit. Although they did make it to the conference finals last year as a 7 seed, they are going to run into a juggernaut in the first round here in 2024. Next, we got Celtics and Heat. Now, if you remember, in the 2020 bubble, the Celtics, the Bucks lost to the Heat in 5 games in the 2020 bubble. And then the next year, the Bucks played the Heat in the first round, a lot of people thought the Heat might do it again, and what happened? The Bucks swept them. I think that's going to be a similar thing here because the Heat managed to beat the Celtics after nearly blowing a 3-0 lead last year. And I know that the fun pick will be the Miami Heat, but the problem is they don't have Jimmy Butler. They're still surprisingly pretty good without Jimmy Butler, but the Boston Celtics, I think they're going to do similar to what the Bucks did to the Heat in 2021. I'm going to take the Celtics in just 4 games, a sweep, a very surprising sweep at that. Well, is it that surprising though? I don't think so, actually. I think the Celtics get that done in 4. An early exit for the Heat. Maybe Jimmy Butler plays in a game or 2. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. We'll see. It's kind of a toss-up. Same with Zion Williamson for the Pelicans. We don't really know if or when those players are going to come back. Now we got the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Orlando Magic in this first round. That game is actually coming on in about an hour from now. The Cavaliers had a disappointing early exit last year to the Knicks in 5 games. This year, I think it's going to be a different story because I think the Cavaliers are a bit more hungry. They should be hungrier this year. The Magic are a young, inexperienced, first-time playoff team. It's been a great season for the Magic, but I like Donovan Mitchell and the Cavaliers in 7 games. That's my first 7-game series. A lot of people probably won't be watching this series, I would expect, but I think it does go 7. All right, so I have the Celtics sweeping. I have the Cavs in 7. This is 6. This is 6. Okay, this is also 6, and this is 5. Okay, so we got a couple 7. Okay, we got 1 7. Bucks and Pacers. I got the Pacers in 6 games. So I have both 6 seeds moving on. Minnesota and Milwaukee as 3 seeds are going to lose in the first round, and here's why. The Bucks have been pretty bad with Doc Rivers. And they've just been losing a lot of games they shouldn't have been losing. They even dropped out of the 2 seed. And, well, the Pacers are a solid team led by Tyrese Halliburton, Miles Turner, Pascal Siakam. I mean, I like that lineup for the playoffs. And, you know, I'm probably going to be rooting for the Pacers as well. Giannis is not going to be playing for the Bucks. Like, that's like insult to injury. I mean, the Bucks have already been playing badly, but when you take Giannis out of the equation, it makes it very tough. I can see Damian Lillard going for 40 or 50 points one game. You know, throw back to playoff Damian Lillard when he was on the Trailblazers. But, you know, I just don't see the Bucks moving on here. I just don't see a good enough reason to pick the Bucks here. I think the Pacers win this. And there's going to be a lot of questions in the offseason for the Bucks after losing to the Heat in 5 games last year in the first round, and now this. I don't know. It's going to be hard to come back from this if you're the Bucks. I don't know. We'll see what they do. But I do like the Pacers in that match. And now we have the Knicks and the 76ers. Probably the most exciting first round matchup, I'm not going to lie. Maybe the Mavericks and Clippers could be most exciting, but this series, Philly and New York, Philadelphia is going to be ready with Embiid and Maxey. They have a killer good record when those 2 guys are playing. The Knicks, maybe they shouldn't have gotten the 2 seed, but I do like the 76ers here to advance in 7 games. Wow, that just instantly took us to the second round. Okay, so, yeah, the Knicks are a great team led by Jalen Brunson, but, like, this Philadelphia 76ers team has yet to lose with Embiid back in the lineup. I'm probably going to be rooting for the Knicks in that series, but I do like the Sixers to pull it out. Okay, on to round 2. We got the Thunder and the Mavericks. I'm going to be rooting really hard for the Mavericks. I am definitely a Dallas Mavericks fan. They're my second team after the Warriors, but the Warriors, of course, lost to Sacramento in the play-in, so I will be rooting for the Mavericks throughout. The Thunder, Some people said the Thunder are like the weakest number one seed in the modern era, which I understand why they say that, because the Thunder are the youngest playoff team in the NBA. The Mavericks have been on a killer run as of lately. I do think, like, I'm very confident in this. I have a very good feeling that if this matchup happens in the second round, I do like the Dallas Mavericks to advance. And I'm going to say 6 games. The Thunder go out in the second round as a 1 seed. Inexperience catches up to them. I do like Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving to find a way to get that done and advance back to their second conference finals in 3 years. All right, now we go down to this rematch between Denver and Phoenix. I will probably be rooting for the Nuggets, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't really like the Suns, but Dallas would actually get home court advantage if it's the Suns. Mavericks kind of own the Suns, if you know what I mean, but I do think I got to pick who I think is going to win, and I think the Denver Nuggets win this in 6 games again. It went to 6 last year. I think it's going to be the same result this year. I think it might even be 5 this year. We'll see. But I think the Denver Nuggets do get past the Phoenix Suns. The Boston Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think the Cleveland Cavaliers could get a game here. I've been back and forth on whether this series is going to go 4 or going to go 5. So I've already got a 6. I'm going to say the Boston Celtics win this in 4 games. Yeah. I don't see Cleveland winning a game. If they win a game, good for them. But I think the Celtics are going to be on a mission this year. They're going to sweep their first 2 rounds and go 8-0. Pacers, 76ers, a 6 versus 7 matchup. Pacers would have the home court advantage, which would make it interesting. I don't know. I'm tempted to pick the Pacers, actually. The 76ers have yet to make a conference finals since, 2001? I think I will go with the 76ers here, though. And I think it's going to go, well, I had 6 and 6, and could this go 7? Could this be my 7-game series? If that were the case, then that would be back-to-back 7-game series for Philadelphia. I'm not sure how I want to pick this. I think I do have Philadelphia advancing to the conference finals for the first time since 2001. But I don't know, it's tough. Indiana really could win this series. They really could. But again, this is all dependent on, like, if nobody gets injured. Like, we know Zion and Jimmy Butler are injured, but if nobody else gets injured, I think fully healthy, I think the 76ers would win this series. And I'm going to say 7 games. I'm going to say 7 games for that series as well. It's going to be tough. That literally any of those teams, the 2-seeded Knicks, the 3-seeded Bucks, if they can get Giannis back, the Pacers, the 76ers, any of those 4 teams could make a run to the conference finals, but it just so happens to be the Philadelphia 76ers here in 2024. And I don't even like the 76ers like that, but I just think they have the right kind of path here to edge this out to get to the conference finals. Now, the Western Conference Finals, the Mavericks, the Nuggets. This is going to be an epic showdown if this matchup happens. I want this matchup so badly. This would be incredible. I think this one would go the distance to a Game 7, and oh my goodness. I'm so biased. That's the thing. I think that Denver might probably win this series. But man, I am going to ride with Luka and Kyrie in 7, man. I got the Dallas Mavericks knocking off the Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals this year. I mean, maybe I'm a little biased. Maybe. But I think they can do it, man. I think they can do it. PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford, trading for those guys was such a great decision by Dallas. They're really, really clicking right now at the right time. I like Dallas to go to the 2024 NBA Finals, where they will face the Boston Celtics, who own the 76ers, by the way. But I don't think they're going to sweep them, or even 5. I think it'll be a 6-game series. Boston beats Philadelphia in 6. I don't know. I feel like 6 games is a little generous, but remember last year they went to 7 with them back when they had Harden on the team. I mean, it's kind of hard to say the Celtics would go 12-0 in the East, but they definitely have the team that's capable to do so. I have the Celtics and the Mavericks in the NBA Finals this year, and as much as I would love to see the Mavericks win that series, in the 2024 NBA Finals versus the Boston Celtics, I think the Celtics they've been ready to win a championship long enough. I think the Mavericks run does end here. As much as I'm going to be rooting for the Mavericks, I do have the Boston Celtics winning the 2024 NBA Finals in 5 games. And let's see how many total points will be scored in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. I will go with 212. That's just a number that just randomly came to me just now. Alright, and we will create an account and submit this, but I've got the Celtics in 5, the Boston Celtics in 5, over the Dallas Mavericks in the 2024 NBA Finals. Let's go Mavericks. Let's go 76ers, I guess, even though I'll probably be rooting against them. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens for sure. I can't wait for the playoffs. Go Mavericks. And I think the Celtics win it all this year. I think this is actually the Celtics' year, like actually this time. But anything can happen. We'll see. We'll see what happens. There's always going to be something crazy that happens that shakes everything up. We'll see what that's going to be. And yeah, until next time, whenever I make another video, peace out, y'all. That was cringe. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, bye for now.